Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my review for Mickey 17, which is directed by Bong Joon-ho and stars Robert Pattinson. The movie takes place in the far-off future and follows Mickey Barnes, played by Robert Pattinson. He joins a space colony, but signs up to be an expendable, meaning he does a bunch of really thankless, shitty jobs, gets killed in all these jobs, but is magically brought back to life. Well, not magically, it's through science. And this is basically a cycle for him. He has died 17 times at least, but one day he goes on a mission where he does not die, comes back to his room and finds a clone of himself. So now things have escalated because there is a certain law against clones, especially under the leadership of Kenneth Marshall, played by Mark Ruffalo. This was my most anticipated movie of 2025. I saw that original trailer and thought it was a really cool science fiction film. Not to mention it's from Bong Joon-ho, who has made a lot of really good movies. His last one being the 2020 Best Picture winner Parasite, the only foreign film to win Best Picture at the Oscars. So I was clearly excited for this movie, and I gotta say, walking out of it, I liked it. It was a tad disappointing because I didn't walk out of it going, oh my god, this is absolutely amazing. No, it was really good. There was a second trailer that came out for this movie that had a rather different tone, but my mind always went back to that first trailer, which had a very tongue-in-cheek mentality to it. And that's pretty much what Mickey 17 is. It is not trying to hide at all the fact that it is a comedy. It is a full-blown satire. It is goofy, it is silly, and I think it mostly works. It helps that the actors know what kind of movie they're in. Robert Pattinson is essentially playing two roles in this movie, Mickey 17 and the clone Mickey 18. Both of them have a really silly voice, but both of them are completely different from one another. 17 is more cowardly and unsure, whereas 17 is more of an asshole. And seeing the two Mickeys interact with each other really works. They have a great dynamic and really goes to show you how great of an actor Robert Pattinson has become. Now, if there's anyone in this movie who could overact more than Robert Pattinson, it's Mark Ruffalo and to a certain extent, Toni Collette. Mark Ruffalo is essentially the film's villain, Kenneth Marshall, and he is basically a corrupt, failed politician with a huge ego, and the second I say that, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say this person's name, but we all know who we're thinking of. And there's a brief motion that Mark Ruffalo does in this movie for a split second where you know, okay, this is the guy that Mark Ruffalo is channeling, and it is not subtle in the slightest. And Toni Collette is pretty fun as well. She is not as over the top as Mark Ruffalo, but in a way she kind of reminded me of Tilda Swinton's character from Snowpiercer, also directed by Bong Joon-ho. There are some other fun characters in this movie. Naomi Ackie, who was in The Rise of Skywalker, plays a security guard and ends up being Mickey's girlfriend. And she has a lot of fun in this movie, and there's some great scenes with her. You also have Yeun in this movie as Mickey's best friend, who ends up becoming kind of a scumbag as the movie goes along. And there's some other really minor characters, mainly the two scientists that stuck out to me, one of which is a yes man to Kenneth Marshall, and the other is the one who's trying to basically save everything from going to shit. Both of them were a lot of fun, but the whole cast itself is really good. Like I said earlier, this movie is a full-blown comedy. There are scenes in this movie that really got a hard laugh out of me, and some moments of satire that are really on the nose, sometimes for better, but also sometimes for worse, which, if there's one issue I had with the movie, and it's the ultimate reason why I'm not in love with it, it's that it can get so silly and so absurd at points that it's honestly hard to care about the story and the characters. I get everything that Bong Joon-ho is trying to do with this story, and it mostly works, but when you look at a movie like Snowpiercer, that movie is very much a metaphor for the upper class pushing down the lower class and just oppressing them. But Snowpiercer took this concept a lot more seriously, albeit in a literal sense, but it wasn't as absurd as Mickey 17 is. Not to say this movie is bad, but for a movie that's the follow-up to the first foreign film to win a Best Picture Oscar, I was a little let down. This is no Parasite, and it's not as good as Snowpiercer, but I think it's a lot better than some people are giving credit for. You know how a lot of people are saying, oh, screw Rotten Tomatoes. I'm the guy that goes, screw CinemaScore, because a B, for that to be a bad score, like, it just aggravates me. So for myself, I'd say Mickey 17 is good, but it's not great. There is really a lot to like about it. The performances are great, it's really funny, Bong Joon-ho's direction is really solid, the technical aspects are great, the CGI work is incredible, I really love the score and the way this movie's shot. But again, it can be a little silly at points, and this is not really up to par with Bong Joon-ho's other films. I like this better than Okja, but again, not as good as Snowpiercer or Parasite. And there you go, that's my review for Mickey 17. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I want to give a special thank you to my subscribers and YouTube members right over here. You guys are the main reason why this channel continues to grow, and if you want to help to support the channel financially, you could do so via YouTube memberships for as little as $1.99 a month. But until next time, I want to know what you guys think about Mickey 17. Whatever your opinions are, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on these social media platforms and my theme park and travel channel right here on YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.